Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We are here at Bedford Street Antiques in Carlisle, and we're jumping right in, checking out all these goodies in this booth here. I like to frequent Bedford Street Antiques because they have a great selection and great vendors and great employees, and there's always constantly changing merchandise. So I always like to come over, try to get there every week-ish, every other week, and check it out. Here is Paul's booth. I was checking out this giant glass, I call it a bowling pin dog. Very neat piece. I believe it was Italian. This booth over here I absolutely love. I always find stuff for my personal collection. They are on the retail side of prices, but if you're looking for things, you gotta check it out. There's some great items in this booth. Like I said, I always add to my collection from this booth. They have a lot of holiday decor, Easter, Halloween, Christmas, some great items. There's even some Bakelite in that case, but he's always has really neat items in these cases. Looked at this little guy here, but I already have it, so I don't need another one. Again, we're back to Paul's case, looking at all the treasures in there. I love that little pumpkin lantern. He always has some really interesting items. And swinging around, this vendor has some really interesting items. I always like coming in here. They do a fantastic display. I mean, it's wonderful. They got their Easter out. They're ready to go. Some great items there. But just look at the display. It is absolutely fantastic. Giant Peep stuffed animals down there. Very colorful. This is Jan's booth here. She always has some really interesting items and great prices. I've been eyeballing these little chenille bunnies for Easter, but I just don't know what I'm going to do with them. So I think they're a reproduction, but I thought they were very neat, and they were a great price. But just lots of really neat items. Here's some more of her booth. And like I said, she always has a really good selection, a really good mix of everything. Very nicely displayed as always. And as I was filming, she came around and said, "You didn't spend enough time in my booth." So I went back in and looked at some more. This booth has a lot of primitives, which isn't my thing, but they have such a great display. And every once in a while, I find a little vintage treasure in there. I love this booth here. They always have fun stuff. Looking at this little bunny planner, very cute. I think I already have it. That's why I didn't pick it up. I got to check out this container. I liked it, but to me, it was a little too new. Oh, I gotta eyeball this caddy with the glasses in it. I do not need another one of those. So that stayed there. But lots of Pyrex, lots of kitchenware. Again, wonderfully displayed, color blocked. Look at all the jadeite. She does a really good job at displaying. And I typically find things in this booth that I need, so I always add them. We're going to go across here, and we're going to drool at my friend Nancy's quilts and her collection of antiques. Nancy has been doing this for 50 years plus, probably, and she has the most amazing textile collection. So she has lots of textiles. She has quilts, quilt tops. This is a whole rack of what she calls her $100 and under quilts. that are absolutely amazing. Nancy has a really good eye. She's very knowledgeable. Every once in a while, I grab one of these, and they're all under $100 in that rack. But she also has this booth on the other side that has all sorts of interesting little tidbits. And I just absolutely love seeing the stuff. When I see her at auction, I'm all excited because we sit there and talk about what she's bought and whatnot. This booth here is my friend Judy's booth. She does a lot with oil lamps. Judy has a massive collection, her and her husband, of oil lamps. I love this booth. I always find things in here. Let's check out this blow mold bunny. Somebody gave him a paint job. Excuse me. This is always a fun booth. Lots of really interesting art items. I really like their style and their taste. They have really cool just design, and they really have a good eye when it comes to picking. I always come in here and just look around to see what's new. Just some great items. Here's a bunch of jewelry, and their prices are very reasonable. I was checking out these Easter peeps, thinking, do I need these? Do I not need these? I ended up passing on them just because I really didn't need them. This booth, this vendor's been here for years. They always have a good variety of items, nice mix. So I always like to take a swing through and see what's changed, what's new. Checking this quilt out. I like the colors on it. There was some repair that needed to be done, so I didn't end up picking it up just because I don't know how to sew. I couldn't sew a button on a jacket if you paid me. I really like this vase here. It had a really interesting style. Just wasn't sure because it was clear. If I should have picked it up, leave a comment down below. I got to this booth and I saw this fairy lamp and I thought, okay, I'm going to take a chance. It was $35. Very neat piece. Perfect for the holidays. I know we're after the holidays, but we really don't see fairy lamps around here that often. And when we do, they're usually full-blown retail. So I decided to pick it up. I went in the booth and I actually saw the matching compote sitting there. Looked at the vase too. The vase wasn't really my thing. Now, I made a little faux pas here. The booth said 30% off, and in fine print it said longer burger baskets, so I thought I was getting 30% off. I didn't, but I still bought them anyway because I thought they're a good look, and even if I have to hold on to them for the holidays, I think they'll sell pretty well. Sometimes that's what you got to do, is buy when you see it and hold on to it. But I do have them both listed in my eBay store if anybody's interested. Went around the corner here to this new booth. Again, they have a great display. I migrated right towards the elf or the gnome, whatever you would prefer to call. I don't know why. I always pick them up when I see them at a really good price. And then usually Tommy, that works at the Time Bomb, ends up buying them. So she has a whole collection of them. This booth had a lot of really interesting pieces at very good prices. Got down here to look around. What mainly drew me was the Asian figurines. I have a large collection of those, but I already have a set very similar. But then I did spot the picture here, which I ended up picking up. It was only $5. It had just a great colorway and design. I thought for sure somebody would be interested in that chinoiserie. So we grabbed that. And here I am, sticking it under my arm. Saw this parrot plate, thought that was kind of interesting. That was only $5 too. And guys, if you're seeing something that I missed and I should have picked up, leave a comment down below. I'm always all about learning what people are looking for. I thought about that glass paperweight. I did end up looking it up at some point, and I did see it didn't have a whole lot of resale value, so I decided to leave it behind. It didn't have a sell-through rate. Now here, this plate I'm looking at, it's a Majolica plate. It's only $2, and I did end up picking that up because Majolica sells really well, and at $2. So I go and get myself a basket here, and this is how good a staff Bedford Street has with their vendors. Jen immediately trades me out and gives me an empty basket so I can continue shopping. But I go back over to this booth, check things out. Decided to look in this little case, and I saw this little milkman. He has a single shaker, but he actually has a pretty good resale value as a single shaker. You don't often see the milkman. He was only $4, so I decided to pick him up. And he's also listed in my eBay store. Link is down in the description. Decided to look at these. I believe they're Franklin Mint. They're little, or maybe, I forget what they're called. They're like little creatures, like forest animals. There was a whole series of them. Very cool fish planner. Looking down there to see if there's anything interesting. What I really was trying to see was there's a Napco planner in the case that I wanted to see the price on. Always got to look at these pillow covers. I think they're pretty neat. I ended up finding out that the planner was a little bit more than I wanted to pay for it. I thought these were cute, these newer bunnies. Now we're coming around to the fun stuff. This is also a fairly new booth, and they have a really good eye. And I've picked up several things from them over the last couple months. I saw this foil egg, and I'm starting a collection of these. I started it last year, and it had the original box, so I decided to pick it up. It was only $12, so that's going to go into the collection. And as I'm sitting here doing this voiceover, I'm sitting here with the two pups. So if you hear scratching or licking, that's just them. They love to sit here with me while I do this kind of stuff. Checked out those marble grapes. Then I saw some more Easter, and immediately I was drawn to this planner. I like this little guy, but I thought I already have a couple of those. Same with this guy. So I decided to pick this rabbit planter up. I did grab a few other little Easter items that were off camera. Had to check and see about this box. I have some of these, so I decided to leave it behind. I've looked at it a couple times. Thought the Valentine's Day tree was cute, but it wasn't for sale. This booth had a fantastic display. They always have a lot of really neat glassware and items, and they do a very good display. Immediately, I was drawn over here to the swung vase. It was only $55, which is a great price. I just don't like to ship those. They make me nervous when shipping, so, and I already have something very similar, so I decided to leave it behind. Like these little duck salt and pepper shakers, they're cute. $14. Excuse me. Like this Viking piece. I actually have one in amber listed on my eBay store right now. So I decided to just not pick it up. I was actually standing here talking to another one of the vendors, Earl, who's very knowledgeable, very friendly, always likes to stop and talk. And we were talking about how nice the display is, but lots of great pieces. I did contemplate the one bunny there, the big white bunny. I was thinking about that. And we just kept talking and talking about how nice the display was. Here's some more of their smalls that they have a really good selection of. But as you can see, the overall aesthetic in the booth is fantastic. We made it upstairs, and we're going through Paul's booths right now. Lots of really interesting items. I'm just checking out. You have to really look hard to see what you can find. There's things tucked everywhere, so I always take my time kind of browsing through. I saw these Royal Copley planners. There was a pair of them. Unfortunately, they don't have a high sell-through rate or a high value. They're great design, but they're not as popular as other pottery pieces. Then I saw this, and I was like, what? It still has the mints in it. It's never been opened. And I was like, this would be really cool to put on as a riser for a display piece. And I said, yeah, and it's got the mints. So I picked that up. It was only $6. He's got lots of popcorn, lots of Halloween pieces mixed in here and there. I was looking at these green lights for St. Patrick's Day. Here's some more of Paul's booths. Actually, this is a different booth. I'm sorry. Saw these little trees here. Now, I know they come from Dollar Tree, but I just thought they were so cute. Plus, the Dollar Tree in our area does not have a lot of this stuff, so it's very hard to actually pick some of these things up. They tend to sell out pretty quickly. And these were only $1.75, so I was only paying 50 cents more than I would have at Dollar Tree. Plus, it's supporting a small business, so I was more than happy to do it. This vendor always has a nice mix of things, and they have a very fair price. So I got 4 of them. That's a very neat cross stitch of the Statue of Liberty. I love this holiday booth. This lady does have some very interesting items. I was looking at the Easter to see if anything was calling out to me saying, buy me. But I don't. I dug through this little tote here to see if there's anything cute in there that I needed. Good prices, but just didn't see anything. I looked at this guy. She was missing her glasses, so I was like, nah, do I, don't I? And I ended up leaving that behind. Same with this one, missing their glasses. Here's another one of Paul's booths. Just checking this basket out. There's a great bridge lamp there with uranium glass. Decided to venture through here to see what I could find. He was very cute. I liked him. But I didn't see a light. Excuse me. Saw this little poodle here. I thought about buying him to put on the couch at the back of the store. Again, looking at Paul's stuff. I love this fish, and I contemplated, but he was busted, and I'm not a big fan of yellow. If he had been another color, absolutely. Then I saw these, and I was like, ooh, how much are these? I was like, they're not chipped. They're a good price. Should I? Shouldn't I? Let me pull them out. Now, there's a set of 4 here. Originally, there was a set of 5. So I did end up picking these up, and I did actually find the 5th bowl. And so I do have the entire set now. So they will be going up on eBay. No chips, no cracks, and they glow like crazy. So I did end up picking these up. Now I'm getting my hands full. I had to look at the deranged Easter Bunny. He's only $9. I love this pink phone up here, but I don't need it, and it's retail, so I couldn't do much with that. I always love this little Al cutout Halloween photo. He's got several around the store, and I always think about buying them, but I don't want to be that person that has to change their artwork out for Halloween either. This is the treasure cabinet. He always has little figurines in here, so I always like to look and see if he's added anything new. As you can see, lots of treasure. This booth has a nice assortment of different glassware. Always has some interesting items. That's a very cool vase, but very, very nice assortment of items. This is a fairly new vendor to my right there. Nice Bakelite bracelet there. That's what I was eyeballing. And here comes Earl to take my basket and my bowls. Lots of fun stuff in this booth. I always like to check out, see what's new. I got a really cool album one time of vintage cards that somebody had collected during World War II while they were stationed in Hawaii. So there was all sorts of seasons. So I always like to look and see if there's anything that I need. This booth has been running 50% off, so I always like to poke my head in and see if there's anything new. They keep adding more and more. Check out the linens. I saw these pillowcases. They weren't badly priced. They would have been $5 for the pair, but I just wasn't crazy about the tulips. I don't know why. If I left them behind and made a mistake, let me know. Now we're going to come over here to Earl's booth and see what treasures he has. I like those bird trays. Checking in the cabinet to see what's new. This Pinocchio has been very popular for other people who have done shop with me videos at Bedford Street. Looking at these cute little vases here. They're new, but they have a good look to them. Very mid-century looking. There's lots of fall autumn leaf. So I started thinking about the vases. I thought they'd be good for in the store for spring. And Earl actually came around the corner and we started talking, and I was telling him about the Pinocchio, how it's been very popular. And he gave me a really good price on the vases, as he always does on everything he sells me. Again, I was looking at the trays. I think they're very cool. I have a thing for those little trays. I don't know why. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are going to do the haul video for the items that you saw during the Shop With Me video that I did at Bedford Street Antiques in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So I have everything over here and a couple things in front of me. So I'm going to show you everything I purchased, tell you where it's going to be sold, if it's going to be sold. I did buy some things to add to my Easter collection and one thing for my Valentine's Day collection. But everything else is going to be up for grabs. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. This is a great Majolica plate. You saw me pick it up in the video. It was only $2. It did have a few flea bites here and here. Unfortunately, I noticed when I got home, it had a crack in it. Now, that's not a deal breaker. I can still make a profit on this, because a lot of people buy these for display. I know a lot of people that collect Majolica ware. They put them up on the wall. It's a look. Everybody likes it. So I still can triple my money. Actually, more like quadruple my money on this. Not a big deal. For $2, it's still okay. In that same booth, I picked up this Royal Witten. And it's very hard to see on the bottom because the bottom has a spongeware glaze on it, but I did make out its Royal Witten picture in this great chinoiserie oriental style in the navy blue with the gold trim. This is fantastic. The inside even has a blue iridescent spongeware finish on it. But this, just to sit with some white flowers in it, even for spring, I think this would be fantastic. So this is going to go up on eBay today, and I think it should sell pretty quickly. I mean, the colorway is just beautiful on this. It's a very nice piece. Out of that same booth, I found this little guy, the Milkman. He's Japan. I think he was a salt shaker, but I just thought he was so stinking cute. I actually think it'd be neat to use him in just a little vignette with the Milkman. So he'll be going up on eBay. He's only a couple dollars. Never seen him before, but very cute. So in the booth prior to that, there was a couple pieces of Fenton. There was this great satin compote with the pine cone design. It was hand painted by VJ in Fenton. This is going to go up on eBay. It's a great design. It really could lend itself to Christmas all the way through the winter months. Be perfect to put out with some candies in it or some artificial flowers. Really nice piece. It's in great shape. And I picked this up. The vendor had a sale running in that booth that said, the sign said 30% off, and then in really fine print it said on Longaberger baskets. So even though I thought it was 30% off, I still picked it up because it was still a good price. We should still be able to make a little bit of money on it. Along with this, I picked up the matching fairy lamp. And this is in fantastic shape. It was never used. Again, it's in that pine cone pattern that could carry you through the holiday season into winter. This would look great with a little battery operated tea light in it and the nice satin finish, hand painted. This one was hand painted by C. Smith. Again, beautiful piece, perfect winner, going to go up on eBay. So then I started getting into the Easter theme, and a lot of the Easter items I was going to keep for myself. One of the first things I picked up with the Easter, I'll just pick it up here, is this great little Easter bunny pottery flower pot. I think this is Morton. I have one in yellow. That's why I bought this one, but great pink and blue. And it's in really good shape, really good price. So this one's going to live with me and go into the Easter decor, which I just realized Easter is March 31st, I believe. So that means I got to take the St. Patrick's Day stuff down and put the Easter stuff up so I can enjoy that too. Out of that same booth, I picked up this little blue bunny with the fuzzy tail. I have one of these in pink, so this will be a nice contrast, but very cute. Made in Japan. I couldn't resist these little made in Japan ceramic chicks. They have this great airbrush. They still have the original price tag from Ree and Derek on the bottom. They were 10 cents each. Look at them. They're just absolutely adorable. They're going to go in my Easter decor. Very cute. Out of that same booth, I picked up one of these foil eggs. These were made in Western Germany. They were little candy containers. Oops. String was hanging there. But I have a couple of these. I'm hoping to grow my collection over time. This one actually came with the original Russell Stover box that it came in. And they put a note, box lid, fragile, probably don't want to open it to put egg in. So I probably will use this some way as a riser in the Easter decor, but that was pretty neat that it all came together. Great graphics on it. Along with the Easter, I got from my buddy Paul upstairs this great tin with pastel buttermints on it. And guess what? They're still inside. The key's still in the bottom up in the can. I was standing there talking with the vendors of Bedford Street, which, by the way, the vendors / employees there and the owners are absolutely fantastic people. If you get to Carlisle, you have to, of course, go to Miss Ruth's Time Bomb first, but then go over to Bedford Street Antiques. And I can't say enough good things. They're friendly staff, friendly people. They're constantly walking around, helping you, taking things up to the counter for you. If you have questions about stuff, they don't mind getting on the phone and calling the vendors and everything. Can't say enough good stuff about them. But we were sitting there joking about whether or not I should open this and see what the mints look like. Not quite sure yet. But I just thought this would be a neat piece to sit something on top of as a riser. And the fact that the mints are in there is really intriguing. While I'm thinking about it, I picked these up. This is a set of 4 uranium glass Anchor Hawking Depression mixing bowls. Got these from Paul as well. They're in fantastic shape. They were a really good price. I suspect there was a 5th bowl because I have a 9, a 7, 6, and a 5-inch bowl. I did get on eBay this morning and I found a 8-inch bowl very reasonably. And I'm going to complete the set and then I'm going to list it. And I think I should be able to get a really good price out of those bowls once they're listed. They're in fantastic shape, no chips, no cracks. They have some use to them, as any bowl from the 1920s would. They weren't bought for display, they were bought for use. But I think it would be really neat to get the 5th bowl, and I think that would make a really big difference in the price. So once I get that and complete it, I will be listing those on eBay. But like I said, they're very basic bowls, but they glow amazingly. And they're something that somebody can continue to use on an everyday basis. I like them. They drew me in. So I also picked up from one of the vendors upstairs, and you saw 4 of these little Easter ombre trees. Now, I know everybody's probably out there telling me they sell these at Dollar Tree. Yes, I'm very aware they're from Dollar Tree. But every time I go to Dollar Tree, I can't ever find anything that I need. So I figured, you know what, I'll pay the extra 75 cents. Instead of $1.25, I paid $2. And I bought 2 of the turquoise and 2 of the pink. And I'm going to incorporate them into Easter. But I already thought of something. I can stick one of these in this little bunny planter, and voila, we're ready to go. I mean, it's got a great little look to it with the pink tree and the blue and the pink bunny. So I may try to hit Dollar Tree later today. I was kind of avoiding going out today, but I still had to run errands. I was over there earlier. May go back and see, but we will check it out. So like I said, I got 4 of those. And then from my buddy Earl that works there, he talked me into picking up a set of 4 of these. They're modern, but they have that great mid-century look. There's a blue and a green, and then a pink and a green. Pottery vases. They're newer, like I said, but they have that great look, and they looked really good together, grouped. Let me see if I can hold up all 4 of them here. But you can see they have really good color. Would be great for spring, on a spring decor. These I'm going to put in the shop. I need some brightly colored things for in the shop for spring, so these are going to go in the houseware section. But he gave me a really good price on the 4 of them, so I had to take them. And then while I was checking out, I looked behind me and I saw this little guy. Rosboro, Valentine's Day man. There was a man and a woman. He was only a couple dollars. And of course, I had to get him for my Valentine's Day collection, which I just put away this week. But I really, really liked him. And he was very reasonably priced. So I bought him for myself. But as for the things that you saw here in the video that I purchased for resale, if you would like to purchase them, they are going to be in my eBay store with the exception of the 4 vases that'll be at the Time Bomb. But if you really, really like those, we can also ship those to you as well. Links are down in the description. Make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. We are getting really, really close to 500. And once I hit 500, I'm going to figure out a way to get all the subscribers that have subscribed and do a drawing. And I got to figure out what I'm going to give away in that drawing. But I like to give a chance for somebody to have something cool, vintage cool. And so once we get to 500, I'm going to figure that out. And one random person will get whatever I decide to give out. And I'll ship it to you and you'll be able to enjoy it. So that's going to be something I got to figure out. Maybe I'll do that today. Maybe I'll decide what I want to give away today that kind of speaks volumes of the channel and entice people to subscribe. So make sure you subscribe, even just to get future content. We're going to try to be putting out videos Monday, Wednesday, Fridays routinely. Might throw another one here or there, just to keep it interesting. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments, send me an email or leave a comment down below. And we'll see you on the next one.